get started. And so having a look over this document here is going to help you out. And if you, learn well by reading about something, by reading a manual, this is kind of like that. It's a manual that kind of steps you through each of the processes or each of the ways of starting to use the service. It's also tailored, you guys, to WIC services. So thinking about the way in which you're going to use the service. So, looking over these pages are really going to be pinpoint right to the way in which you're going to be using the service. So it's definitely an important document to have a look at. When you get your activation link, it will come in an email, and it'll come in an email to you, and it will come from admin@sms.astracorp.com. So, and you don't have to write this down. An email will come around that will let you know about all this. Just listening for now and watching, if you're able to see the screen. You should be able to see the screen and what I'm showing you. The website that you're going to go to is right at it's the first line in the document. So this website is a secure website, just like a banking website, right? If you do online banking, it's HTTPS, meaning it's a secure socket, so that all of your communication is going to be safely secured, archived, and encrypted. Very important to understand that. So if you have, and we have a HIPAA guidelines document that we also provide you with. It's a white paper on the security protocols that we use. So if you have any concerns about that, you can look over that document and you'll see what security protocols we use to keep all of the information that goes onto this website safe according to HIPAA guidelines. And so you can be very confident about that. And if any folks ask about it, if you have parents that ask about it, you can tell them, yes, we are encrypting all of the information on the website, and we do not share information with anybody else except for the agency that is, you, right? You're the master of the information that goes onto the website, and it's not going elsewhere. To log in, you'll have an email, like I said, from admin@sms.astracorp, and it will provide you with your username, which is just your email address, and then it'll give you a password. And you can reset your password if you want. There's a reset link on the login page, and you don't need to know your prior password to create a new one. You just need to know your username, so your email address. And but you can just use the default password that is given to you, and that will be in the email as well. So that email to activate will have your password. So it might be a good idea to just go ahead and log in when you get that email. Click the link and then log in. And you'll log in by putting your email address and then your password that you're given into the login page. So kind of like if you've ever done online banking, or if you have a Netflix account, or if you have any other web-based account where there's services that you have to access online, you have to enter a username and password. Well, that's what this is all about. This is a web-based service where you and your colleagues are logging into a secure place where all of your client data is. Now, when you add clients to the service, we're going to give you a couple of different ways to do that. And adding clients to the service is addressed on page, let me see here. Okay. It's addressed on page 4. So the fully opt-in tab to add contacts your mobile phone numbers. You can add them a couple different ways. You can add them by putting in their mobile number. So I'm going to go over here. All right, let me start from the very beginning. So we're going to log in. I'm going to log in as a Jonathan, my email address, and that's my password. I put in my password right, safe and secure. And even if you have this page open on a website, on your desktop, people won't, even if you save your password, people won't be able to get at your password because we're storing it, or it's viewed that way. And then when you log in, you come to the home screen or whatever last page you were looking at. So if you're uploading clients a lot, then you'll default when you log in to the opt-in page. And when I say the opt-in page, this is just where you put clients into the service. And how you access it, if you're, for instance, on the users page, is you go here to the admin tab. And you click the admin tab. And then there's sub-tabs down here. And then you click this fully opt-in tab. And that's the place where you're going to be putting phone numbers into the service. So you can, and here is where the client becomes part of the service and starts getting the messages. This is where it all happens, this is where it all begins. Because of the way that you guys have decided to do this, where you're adding clients. So you can add a client-by-client model, or you can add multiple clients at one time model. And there's pros and cons to both of those. A positive thing about adding a client in the moment is, let's say you're with a client and you say, hey, we're going to send you text messages. Is that okay? We have some educational messages we're going to sign you up for. We have your mobile number. If you do it then, or within moments or hours of having that conversation or having that consent, then they'll be more aware of when they get that first message saying, hey, this is the agency that you just signed up for text messages from, and you can expect to get weekly messages, and you know it's an introductory text message. But when they get that within a few moments or hours of them consenting, then they're going to be more likely to remember, well, why am I getting text messages from this? Oh, well, oh yeah, I signed up for it. So it's kind of a good practice to do so. Now, we understand that you might have a whole bunch of mobile numbers that you've been collecting for a while, and you might want to upload your existing clients in an easy, efficient way, which is absolutely fine to do. You can have an Excel spreadsheet. And when I say an Excel spreadsheet, XLS, right? An XLS file. And if you have a CSV file, well, you can save that as an Excel file. And if you have any questions or any need for help in taking the mobile numbers that are in an existing file and put it into an XLS, well, we can help you with that. Now, at that same time, you can add additional information about the client. So you can upload their mobile number and their name at the same time. Now, if you do it client by client, you could browse and upload a single Excel spreadsheet or an Excel spreadsheet with a single client in it, and that would be fine. Or you can put the number in and the name in arrows. And so that would be just, in the moment, putting a client into the service where I want to have their number go in, their name tied to that phone number, and start getting those messages right away. If I just put that number in, and then in the arrows, I put the name of the client, and that's it. I mean, it's not a complicated thing to do. If I have it in an Excel spreadsheet, let's look at a template here. So here's an example of an Excel spreadsheet template. So all you need to remember about this is that in my Excel upload, I need to have a phone number. So at a minimum, I need to have a mobile number. In addition to the mobile number, I can have the name. I can also have a case manager. If in fact you're keeping track of your clients that way, where you're assigning clients a case manager, then you can make that part of the upload. Now there's a date here and a time, because sometimes where you're pulling your client information might have other columns in it, like an appointment time or a date, date and time of an appointment that you have. So depending on where you're getting your client data from, you might have other columns like the date and the time. We're not going to worry about it. We'll ignore any other columns. The only columns we're going to be concerned about are phone, name, and case manager if you have it. That's it. And then this Excel spreadsheet can be uploaded just by going browse and then going to, and I just want to double check, upload fully out in single case. So I go browse, upload, okay, so I find it on my desktop, wherever it's located, and then I just click open, and then it'll show up here as your file that you just browsed and found. You just have to make sure that you save the file as an XLS. It's got to be an XLS, not an XLSX. And again, if you have a format that you need help with, just let Lynne or myself. We will also have other contacts here at Educational Message Services that you can reach out to for assistance with getting your file uploaded properly. And once you have a working XLS file, it might just be the best and easiest way that you upload files. That you upload clients. Because, if you hand type out, that might take a little time, we want it to be as efficient as possible, especially if you've got a whole bunch of mobile numbers that are just starting out in the beginning. So you're taking an existing caseload and saying, we want to start to get these clients enrolled. And so once you have the file ready, either the name of the client, the phone number, either here, or you've got the browse and upload file ready, then you just need to select the keyword. Okay. Now we've got a keyword for each of the message tracks, and we've also got just a generic keyword where the message track can be assigned after you add the client. So we've got both of those options available to you. You can either upload clients and assign them in the message track at opt-in, or you can upload clients and assign them the message track after you added them. If you want it to be assigned at opt-in, then you would just pick the word with the number for the age, and that's it. So if you've got a group of numbers that you're uploading that are 1-year-old, they're going to get that track, and you want to assign them that at that moment in time, then you can just pick BA Mom 1. And then that everybody who is either put into this box up here, or everybody who's in your Excel spreadsheet will then be assigned that message track. So for existing caseloads, that might be your most efficient method, see, because you want to be able to, if you were to assign it after, then you would have to go and find each of those clients and assign them that message track. Right? So it would be a little bit of work on the side of you to do that. Now you guys have to, you can decide how you're going to go about this. To do this as an after, so assign the message track after, what I can do is I can just pick this one here. And that one is a intro message only. And then once I put the client into the service, then I'm going to assign them the message track. Okay. I'm going to actually show you how that one works, because you'll be able to see that, and then if you'll be able to also see, like if I had picked BA Mom 1, you'll be able to see what automatically happens when I manually do it with BA Loan. Okay. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload my client XLS file, which had the phone number, the name, and the case manager. Name, case manager, optional, must have phone number. And I'm going to take that file and I'm going to upload it and I'm going to assign it the generic opt-in keyword for WIC Vermont BARE location. So this will not assign them a message track. This will just opt them in and give them an introductory text. So we'll go ahead and click this green button. This additional box here is if you want to send the client another text message in addition to the welcome message. For instance, if you have something you needed to tell them about an appointment or something like that, you can send them an additional text when you add their phone number to the service just by typing the message here. I'm just going to do this client with intro message only, so no adjustments or changes here. And then this third option here is for marking the client with additional information, like for instance, a WIC ID, or family size, or some other information that you maybe want to attach to that client profile. This third box allows you to auto-populate those items as well. So you can really be thorough about the profile when you add the client to the service. There's a lot of things, and just ask about it. Ask about item 2 and item 3 with Lynn, and like I said, anybody reach out and just have questions. You can also look in the guide itself, that quick start guide that gives a description of these uses and why they're there. For your basic, just get the client into the service, probably not going to want to worry about anything here or there. And just click this green button. So to reiterate, we are uploading a client. We're going to upload this file here. It's this phone number, this name, and this case manager. And we're uploading it to no message track, just intro message only. When I do that, it tells me, you see how your file goes away here, and then it gives you a little report up here that tells you just added that client, a single client. Now I added my phone number, my mobile number, and I just got that message, that greeting, which we'll look at in a moment here. Now let's say you had 10 clients that you were uploading, and 2 of them were incomplete mobile numbers. So standard mobile numbers should have 10 digits. If in fact you have an incomplete mobile number, then it will stay in this box. Even if it's an Excel spreadsheet that you uploaded, you'll see the incomplete numbers in this box, and it will tell you up here that you added 7, 3 were unable to be added. Please check box 1. So it tells you. And then you can go back with the client. You can go, we have an incomplete mobile number for you. And then you get the complete information, and you can go ahead and upload their numbers as well. But the service validates the mobile number. Then, once you're done adding a client to the service, or clients to the service, you just go over here to the users page. And this users page has the queue. Let me zoom in here. So this queue is kind of like an email inbox, in that all text messages or all clients will go here into this queue. And you can learn a lot just by looking at the queue. For instance, this is the opt-in keyword, right? We know that we opted them into that BA mom, no message track. And then this is the recent incoming messages. So this will show you any incoming messages from the client. If they've asked questions, you'll see it here when you scroll over recent incoming message. And then when you scroll over the phone number itself, you get the name of the client if you've added it. As long as you've added that name, then you'll get You'll see it when you scroll over the phone number. And then when you click on the phone number, you're going to see all of the things that have transpired with this client so far. So you're going to see all the information that we put in. So over here are the attributes. You'll see the name of the client. You won't see this stuff up here. This is, as an administrator, I see this stuff. You're just going to see from this down. So if you added the name of the client, you'll see it there, and then their phone number, and then the keyword and group that they're associated to. And then in the middle of the page is all of the messages that have been sent so far. This blue one is from the client phone number, or we're mimicking that. And so any messages that come from the client are going to be in blue. So if I were to send a question in, I'll send a question in a moment. Let's just look at this first. So down the middle of the page is all of the back and forth messages. This will also have all of the messages that get assigned to the client as they get sent to the client. So let me go over here to show unsent. It looks like we've assigned some messages. Let me see here, yeah, it looks like everybody gets some messages. Okay, good. Everybody gets some messages. Okay, so that's good. So the thing that's missing at this point is because this client was not assigned their message track at the beginning, because we didn't choose the 1-year-old or 2-year-old or 3-year-old or 4-year-old keyword, we need to do that now. We need to assign that to the client after we've added them to the service. And to do that, you just go over here to the surveys and series, and then you pick right there. So 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's it. So if I know this is a 1-year-old, I would just pick that track, and then you don't have to delay it because we're handling all of the delay variables. You just click this green plus, and then that will assign all of the educational messages that are specifically for the 1-year-old track. So now you see here, we've gone from 7 messages, right? Just by virtue of them being associated to the program, everybody gets those 7 messages, to now 56 messages over time. We're, of course, spreading that out over time. But 56 messages now are queued for delivery. And if I want to see those 56 unsent messages, I just click this tab right here, this little link right here. See, show unsent. This shows me all of the messages that are queued for the delivery. And why are they grayed out? Because they haven't been sent yet. And I click more, and I can go and scroll and see all of them. Look at that. So we get to see all of them as they're scheduled to go out over time. So the next messages this client is going to get are going to be December 16th, and they're right there. And if you scroll over here, you can see that they're in the process of being sent, right? They're all in the process of being sent, just when we're sending them. And you can clearly see what messages they have remaining. And if a client changes their mind and doesn't want to get messages from you anymore, you have a couple different options you can do. They can either text stop from the service, text stop to the number that they get the messages from, or you can go over here to the admin tab, and over instead of fully opt-in, you're going to go to this, opt-out. And then you just put their mobile number in there and opt-out. And that will stop or cancel all of those messages that we're going to schedule to go out to that client. Another way you can do it is, let's say the client says, you know what, I only want to be contacted by text if you have something important to tell me about my benefits, or something that is in addition to or something along the lines of, I need to come in for an appointment, or my benefits are changing, or something like that, but I don't want to get the educational messages. You can uncheck all of those messages on a client-by-client basis. So you have the option to just cancel unsent messages with a single client. And that's getting kind of into the weeds of it a little bit, but just be aware that if a client changes their mind, we've got several options for adjusting the service and how they're opted in, so that we can cancel certain messages, or we can cancel all messages. So there's options for both of those scenarios. As the messages come out of here, the unsent, they're going to go over to sent, and so they'll just appear here as they get delivered. And so you can always look over all of the messages that have been sent, and then also look over all of the messages that have yet to be sent. And that's just an easy toggle right there. Now let's say the client has some information changes. For instance, their name, or you've got the wrong name for the client, and their phone number. All you do is go to here, edit. And this lets you change the name or the phone number. Because clients change their phone numbers from time to time. So rather than re-adding the new number, all you need to do is just update and change it to the new number and click update. And then all of the information that you had for the previous mobile number is now going to be for the new mobile number. And it'll just pick up wherever they left off. And then they will, if they ported over all their messages from the previous service, the phone number, then they would see those messages, and they would just start getting the messages from the same number to their new mobile number. So that's it. As far as changing a mobile number, it's very easy to do. You just go to the user profile and edit it and change it to the new number, and then update. And it doesn't change anything. The client it will be completely seamless to the client. They will just simply start getting the messages sent to their new number. And that also is addressed in the guide. So if you have any questions about changing client name or phone number, you can review that in the guide. This right here is a note section for creating notes about the client. So if you have, for instance, information like the mother is currently pregnant and it's a high-risk pregnancy or something like that, I mean, you can make notes about that, and you can have those notes be visible on a client-by-client basis. Or, for instance, maybe you needed to keep track of information while you tried to have a conversation with the client, right? So maybe you texted a client, you sent out a text, and then you made a note that they didn't reply on the day you sent that text out. And so if you follow up with that client at a later time, you would have a note there that would complement the transcript, right? It would be in addition to that text showing up here that you tried to engage with that client. That note would further explain what happened. So you have notes to do exactly that, just further explain some things that are going on with the client. If you need to have a conversation with the client, you can search by their phone number or their name. And then you just pull open the client that you need to have a conversation with, and then you can click open here or open here under their attributes. And when you click the open, what you'll see here is you get the text box. And then it's just typing your message and sending it. This is please. Thank you. Right? And then if you send that, it just goes out. There it goes, delivered. And what you see there, that little blinking, is just the system sending that message out and then updating. And what you see when you scroll over that time is delivery confirmation, which is really nice to have. Because if you ever have a client that says, you were supposed to text me and I didn't get that text message, well, you can look over their transcript and you can look over the message that you sent, and that delivery there, that in that timestamp, is from the carrier. So for instance, even if they're in a small carrier, we have tracking associated with it. So small regional carriers are supported as well. I'm with AT&T. AT&T updates the application, says we delivered that to the client phone number. So that's delivery verification. So you can go back to the client. You can say, well, actually, your carrier said that they delivered it to your phone on this date and time. Is it possible we don't have a correct mobile number for you? Okay. So you can use the service as a way to validate and verify that messages are actually getting delivered properly to the mobile phone in question. Really an important characteristic of the service. Because, you know, you have to, at times, back up what's happening and you know, be able to troubleshoot and look over the message that you tried to send and, you know, validate and verify that this was in fact delivered. And so you'll have that as part of the transcript. Every message that goes out has that same delivery verification or delivery notification. So even those educational messages that we're sending out weekly, those are all being tracked and according to when they get delivered, and the carrier updating with that delivery notification. So it's kind of like having your ship, when you ship a package. It's nice to be able to verify when that package actually gets delivered. That's what this is about. This is about verifying when, in fact, the text gets delivered. And if you send out a text to a client and the client responds back, this is what it'll look like. So I get the text, and the text is from 85511, not a 10-digit number, right? It's from 85511, and all of your clients, everybody in each of the WICs is all using that number. So everybody's going to get text from 85511. Just depends on where you're at, but all your clients, all your end users, all the moms and families will be getting messages from that number, 85511. So that number will become synonymous with WIC services. So when I text back, sure, that's fine. When I send a text back, then that will appear right in a couple spots. It will appear here in the queue. There it is. And it'll appear here in the conversation. Just like that. So if you're familiar with instant messaging, Facebook, you're going to be familiar with this because it's not too much different. The blue are from the client, the green are from your agency or you if you're having a conversation one-on-one. And then it's just the back and forth to whatever end you need. Now you also have available to you canned messages, and canned messages are just a message library that auto-populates. So if you're using the same messages over and over again, we enable you to add canned messages so that you can just auto-populate those messages. So an example would be, hi, like I showed you, where you might need to reach out to somebody to schedule an appointment. Well, you can set that up as a canned message. Hi, Wic, here we need to schedule an appointment. Please. This is just an example. It's just an example. So when I save a canned message, then while I'm looking at a client, I now have that canned message that auto-populates. So you can really be efficient with your conversations. What we're seeing is that this is kind of the silver bullet when it comes to, I've tried to talk, I've tried to call, I've left voicemails, I've done everything. I tried to email, I just can't reach this client. Try to text them, and you might see a tremendous change because there's just this read rate that is phenomenal. 98% of all text messages are read in the first 5 minutes of receiving them. So it's very effective, this method of texting, very effective. So yes, you're going to be adding clients. Yes, they're going to be getting educational messages from you, but you will also be able to reach out and converse with any of your clients at any time by text message, just by simply finding the client, opening the case, and texting them. Okay, so and when you're happy with the message, you just click the send button. So hand messages are just like your hand typed. It's just that they're auto-populating, and you can have a whole library of messages that you use on a frequent basis. Okay, so adding clients. We go to admin, we go to fully opt-in, and we either upload or we put the number and name of the client into the service, and then we put the fully opt-in. Now, in the guide, you'll have all of this information available to you. You're also going to have each of those steps available to you in a recording of the session. So anybody who misses this session is going to also have that available, the recording. Do we have any questions? Lynne, would you like to have some questions at this time?
I wonder, Jonathan, if you could go into the reminders and show people, like if they wanted to, let's say they, a new grocery store that took the WIC card was opening up in their area, and they wanted to send out a message to everyone that is, subscribed from their district office.
Okay. So,
how they would do that. That's what I'd really like to see. Thank you.
Okay. So, yep. So go to the reminders tab. Okay. So when you log in, you default to the last page you were looking at, or the users page, your queue, where all your clients are going to be. To go and send out a message to everybody, you just go to the reminders tab, and you click new, and then you type your message here, and you select all. If you need it to go to just the 1-year-olds, then you would select the 1-year-old. If you need it to go to everybody, then like I said, you just pick the all. And when you type your message here, so this is an example of a group reminder to all subscribers. And you can have a link in there. You can have, it could be a link to a newsletter that you're doing. I mean, this is a way, this is an on-ramp by text message. This is a way to get at all of your clients in a quick, efficient way. So Lynne's exactly right. That as they get this educational message, you're not going to have to be responsible for sending out those group messages that are that already being sent. And part of the educational messages that they're getting, but you will be able to send out group messages that are just WIC-wide alerts that let everybody know in one fell swoop what they need to know about their benefits, change in their WIC benefits, or change in the location where they're going to get services or support or whatever. I mean, this can be that kind of a bulletin. So when you write your message and then you just select the group it's going to go to, so it's going to everybody, you select all, and then you just pick the date and time that it's going to go out. So I would pick a future date and time. And if I pick just a few moments from now, we'll make this Eastern Standard Time. And then I just pick the time and 5 minutes from now. And then I click save, and it will queue up for delivery under your current. There it is. So you get to review all group messages that you create. And if you need to delete it, you just delete it. If you need to edit it, then you just click the edit. If you want to reuse it, then you can click the copy. As it is sent, so as this date and time passes, it'll go from current to sent. And anything that goes from current to sent will, obviously you won't be able to delete that anymore, but you can copy and reuse a sent group message. And so as it moves from current to sent, you'll see it there, and then you'll see a copy option to reuse content that you sent as a group message. You're also going to see anything that you send as a group message by client, so you can click on and see this unsent message on a client-by-client basis as well. But very easy to send to everybody. And if they reply back to the everybody message, you're going to see it, not everybody else, right? Just you, just the agency. Your agency is going to see those responses. So you can send out a group message to everyone and invite people to text back. And then it'll just appear there under the queue, under this users tab. You'll see as those messages come back from the client. And if you have the audio turned on, you'll hear an audio alert. So these audio alerts control the sound that the queue makes. So in addition to a flashing of the screen, you'll hear an audio alert as people text back or respond. If a client ever asks a question about the educational messages, you're going to see it populate here, a flash. It'll pull their case to the top of the queue, and you'll hear an audio sound. So every if you have notifications checked, every 3 minutes you'll have an additional audio alert telling you you've got a new unanswered message in your queue. So you've got a lot of tools here to let you know that people have sent you text messages. So sending group messages to everybody, use the reminders tab. And type your message, click new, type your message, select the group it's going to, and then set the date and time. And save it. and that's it. That too is going to be in the guide, and you'll see how to do that. And you can also, if you want to appoint a particular person at your agency to manage the group messages, and maybe you don't want everybody to be doing that, then you can have under their profile, they don't even see that tab. So you can control who sees what. You can also run reports. And the reports tab, and this too might be something that just an administrator at your site is able to do. But reports will get at the data that is, documenting all of this activity. And the messages that are sent, right? Looking at all of your outgoing messages, your aggregate data. How many opt-ins, so how many clients have we added over the period that we select? How many, you can really drill down on staff logins if you're into that kind of data. So yeah, it looks like you guys we're coming up on the hour, so it looks like we're running out of time. This recording is going to be available. We will provide you with additional information on just creating like staff profiles and just creating reports, so that you'll have information to help you with those two steps. If you have any questions about the things that we've reviewed, please reach out to Lynne or myself. I will be sending everybody an introductory email with the guide and a link to this recording.